couldn't, and she just said, this looks suspicious. And so Dave and I went back in her, waiting in her room. We sat with the doctor, and she said, she believed that I had cancer, and that she wanted to take some, oh gosh, I can't remember what they're called. But, I was kind of in trauma. It was kind of like, you're there, but you're not there. I wasn't even crying. It was just a disbelief. And she said, there's needle biopsies, and they're really long needles, and they have this like an enclosure at the bottom where they would first go in, and this little enclosure would open up, grab a piece of, when it's inside, your breast would open up, grab a piece of tissue, close around it, and take it back out. And they said, would you agree to that? And the nurse and Dr. Petty said, you just lay down and we'll do this. And they assumed it was going to make me cry, and I was going to be real nervous. And I was so traumatized, I think, about the whole thing, about hearing about it, that they did it, and I really didn't feel them doing it. It was like they stuck it way down in deep, and they did like 2 or 3 of them, and I told them, just do more if you have to, just do as many as you need to, and when they came up with the conclusion of that, no cancer. And it was just quite odd. And then they did a biopsy, and they did so many different tests on Nicole to look for this cancer. It was unbelievable. And there was a biopsy done, and I think they finally found a little bit of it. And Dr. Petty told me it was way down deep, okay, what she saw. And she gave me, there's a state booklet, it's really big, that they give every woman when they are told that they have cancer, about describing cancer so they can know what stage they're in. There's 4 stages. And Dr. Petty, the surgeon, told me I was in stage 2. And that didn't seem so bad. She described that if she was willing to do a lumpectomy, take the whole breast, that it would look like she's very honest, like an egg, like a broken flat egg, like a fried egg, sunny side up, and she said, and she's just so honest about it. And I said, well, that doesn't sound like good. I don't really want to look like that. And the oncologist I was working with was Dr. French. She was the one that was going to run the treatment of the chemotherapy after the mastectomy. And the plastic surgeon was Dr. Thayer. And Dr. Thayer is so well known in the Muskegon area. She's on television all the time. She and Dr. Petty are in the same office and work together very well together. they were going to work together on the mastectomy when it happened. Um, my husband and I went to all appointments together, every single appointment together, every single appointment. We went, there were numerous appointments. I can't even count them all. I'm just telling you the highlights. One of the appointments was to go see Dr. Thayer about the reconstruction. The reconstruction was to take place at the same time, the beginning of the reconstruction. One of the choices was could start right at the time of the mastectomy. And that reconstruction was to have Dr. Petty go in and do the mastectomy, and then have Dr. leave it open, and then Dr. Thayer do her reconstruction, and then close. Okay, so my husband and I went to meet with Dr. Thayer, and we talked about all the alternatives, and some of them were very horrible sounding, and I did not want to wear a bra with a prosthesis in it, and so I chose to have a reconstruction surgery. And so we went to see Dr. Thayer's work. She had many patients who allowed her to take these pictures of her work, so they would pose for her with the, no headless. And when trying to think when, oh gosh, when the chemo, I'm trying to think when the chemo even came into place. I have to really think out when the chemo came into place and all that. Well, anyway, I have to think about that. I just, my memory is really hard here. But we went in and then we get to touch all the different implants. So it's kind of, it was just a little bit creepy. And get to feel them and all that. And they always have a number on them, so if I were to burn up or something, they could always identify me by my number. My breast implant. And my breast implant is on the side of the mastectomy, but also she did a small breast implant on the right side to make it the same as the left side. So she's really a perfectionist.